Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at MicDrop by Soundlabs AI for the iPad. Also for the desktop as well. So let's urge. Yo, what's going on? I'm Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And of course, I hope you're doing okay. And I would normally do the close-up, but I don't have the camera set. So I'll do that in a second, won't I? I'll just wait a second, wait for it to do the thing. And then once it's done the thing, I can go, I hope you're doing okay. Boom, easy. Welcome, everybody. I'm really excited about this show today. Let's say hello to those of you already in the house, and then we'll get down to it. May go a little bit over time because I want to cover as much of this as possible. I've got a little bit of a rant to go in, but it needs to be said. So that just is what it is. Hello, Leela. Hello, Professor Boomer. Hello, Denise. Hello to Dave Bops. Hello to Studio 6+1. And anyone else, Ali Gratella and River Bend Sim. Hello to you. Click the right one. Jade, what's going on? And anybody who is lurking the gherkin and watching along. So today we're taking a look at MicDrop, and it is for iPad only, just so you know. And we're going to talk about which devices it works best on. So I'm going to try and cover as much as I can. Firstly, I need to let you know that I have been on the beta. It was only a very short beta. I only had it for like a week and found a couple of things, and then it went live, and there was a bug that I found. So I need to put this out there first. The version that is on the App Store right now is not the version that I have. The version that I have is still a beta version. They just got updated 5 hours ago. I've been up since 4 in the morning making sure all this works. I'm tired. It's 8 a.m. here. And but this version has fixed a bunch of things. And I just want to put it out there as well, too, that the developers of this are, so it is Soundlabs AI. They are very responsive, and they want this to work as best as they can. So, firstly, before you decide to head over to the App Store and leave a massive, horrible review or something because you've had some problem with it, think twice, think 3 times, think 4 times, and reach out to the developer through their website if there's a bug or anything that you come across because they want to fix it. In saying that, we need to talk about something first before I get into the price and have a look at everything. This kind of technology takes a lot of CPU, even on a desktop, right? Let's not kid ourselves here. Hello, MC Like It Dark. I'm not making excuses for developers or anything like this. Our developers create the great apps that we make, and they want them to work. So let's just put that out there. All of the software that has come before, this particular piece of software for iOS, remember, uses cloud-based technology. Think about it. All of these AI companies out there, you sign up to a subscription, you upload your vocal, and it goes to the cloud, and then it processes and comes back. Why? Because the amount of computing that it takes to do this kind of stuff requires high-end NVIDIA chips. There's a reason why NVIDIA is the biggest company in the world, a trillion-dollar company. And this AI bubble is like so close to bursting, right? If you're following what's going on with AI tech. So to do this kind of stuff, you are normally sending this information offline and it's coming back. The iPad is a completely different beast, right? It doesn't have an NVIDIA graphics card in it. It doesn't have that. It has an M series chip. Depends what it is. M2, M4, M5 is the latest one, M1. I'm going to say it straight up right now. If you do not have an M series chip, do not bother. This ain't going to work. And you can sit there and cry till the cows come home, but I want it to work on my 2018 iPad. I really do. It can't do it. It doesn't have the processing power to pull off this kind of stuff. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. Now, think about it this way. You've got a Volkswagen, okay? And you want to drive really fast as a Ferrari. You might have to buy a Ferrari. I know it's expensive to have to go out and do, but if you want this kind of thing, you are going to have an iPad that is able to do it, right? And saying, but I want them to make it iPad compatible for my 28. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. And I've tried it on this. I can show it to you in real time on my iPad 2018 before the M series chip. You know, I've got an overhead view. This is the 2018 iPad Pro. It's slow as hell at the moment anyway because it's on iOS 26. I can open up. Let's just get straight to it. I can open this up here, go into audio. I can choose a file, a vocal track. So let's just do it. Show it to you right now. So we can jump to, here's a vocal track, right? We're going to load up MicDrop. It's loading up. It's all good. It's there. I can pick a vocalist. It's all set, ready to go. As soon as I hit play and the vocal starts kicking in, it's not even playing any sound. There's nothing coming through it. If I take, and then it crashed. This is the reality of older iPads, right? It just is the reality. And I need to get this out there so people understand what we're dealing with. Now, let's also talk about the iPad. The iPad, even though the iPad Pro, right, if you've got a higher end M5, M4, whatever, and you've got 16 gig of RAM, let's get real. That 16 gig of RAM is not just at our disposal. We don't have access to all of it, right? When you're using something like Logic or Cubasis or whatever, there's only an allocated amount of RAM that you are able to use. Why? Because the rest of the iPad needs to have RAM to keep doing all the things in the background and running and keeping the iPad running. And the way Apple throttles this kind of stuff, we don't have access to be able to allocate it ourselves. That's the way Apple roll. There's not much you can do about that. So there's that as well. And one of the tough things which I've found, Logic Pro, for all of the great things about Logic Pro, the buffer size on Logic Pro only goes up to just over 500. I don't know why. I can't understand why Apple have not allowed us to go up over 2,000 to be able to get more out of Logic. Other doors let us do it. Cubasis and AUM lets us to have a large buffer size, but for some reason, Logic doesn't. So taking this all into account, you have to realize the processing power to do this kind of stuff needs ridiculous power. And to what they have done to get this to actually work, to me, is just mind-blowing. It fully is. Now, the developers, as I said in the beginning, they're really into this. One of the developers behind this is behind Battalion. And if you know Battalion, it's a really cool app. And so there's a lot of love in this app. I want to bounce over here and talk about this also before we get into it. I've seen a lot of people making comments, right, on this app. I've seen a lot of shade already, okay? Now, and that's fine, right? And that's cool, whatever. Everyone's allowed to have their opinions and stuff. And I saw one comment which really irked me, right, which was about, I can't wait for IK Multimedia to release Resing, which is their brand new thing, on iOS. That's not happening. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. If you've watched any videos about Resing for desktop, right, even just to try and create your own vocal, to train it on your own vocal with Resing on a Mac, on an M5 Mac, it takes 8 days. 8 days. And when you move across onto a desktop PC with a latest NVIDIA card, 8 hours, right? Because it's doing all the processing on the computer. Any kind of AI processing, graphics, videos, there's a reason that it goes up to the cloud and comes back. Unless you've got a high-end NVIDIA chip, this amount of processing is not going to happen, and especially on our humble little iPads. I can't see IK Multimedia even releasing Resing on iOS because of the capabilities that you need to have to be able to do this kind of processing at this high-end level. So again, what these guys have done at Soundlabs is pretty damn impressive. And I see it only getting better, right? As with new iPads and with them, updating the code as it goes on and finding ways to, make things run more streamlined, like any developer does. They find more streamlined ways to make things work and all that kind of stuff. Ultimately, right, if you've got an old iPad, it's not going to work. And you have to be smart with this kind of stuff, this kind of technology, right? If you expect to have 8 tracks in Logic all running a copy of this, we'll get to it, Dude Lampoon, because I'm on the latest beta, which has fixed a lot of the stuff, right? So we'll get to it. It's the fix has happened. So we'll get to it. I just want to say, if you are expecting to have 8 tracks of vocals with one of these running on each track, I don't know what to tell you. How long have you been making music for an iOS? Even on the desktop, they suggest, Soundlabs suggest to only maximum on a high-end desktop, use 2 tracks at most, and then bounce it to another track. I know it's so much work I have to do. You know what? We live in a world where everyone just wants everything fucking yesterday, and it just irritates me, right? So let's talk about the 2 versions that are available. This has been out on desktop for a while now, and it's a hell of a lot more expensive on the desktop. It is a license. Once you pay the license, you will get access to the Mac version and the desktop. So we're looking at the desktop version here now, and if I just click get it here, get MicDrop, here are the prices. You've got MicDrop Classic, where you get a selection of vocalists, not 16 core vocalists, right? And instrument models, royalty-free voices, all this kind of stuff, $79 US. The full MicDrop suite is $149 on desktop. Make sure we're clear here. And you get all of the vocals, all of the extra packs that you can buy individually if you've got the classic one. And they have said that as new vocalists and such come to light, they're going to be adding them. And if you've been following the desktop version of this, they've been doing that. So let's hope that continues on. You got to have some good faith, right? And then when the bad faith happens, then that's when you bring out the pitchforks. But at the moment, this has just dropped. And as I said, I only got the beta like 4 days before it released, and missed some things. I don't know how many people were beta testing it, and yesterday I reached out and said, listen, I'm scared to do the show because there's some bugs. The auto, the pitch tuning is not working as an AUV3, and the team got on it. They got it fixed. I've got the beta of it now. I'm sure it's going to be up on the App Store very, very soon. So just remember I'm using that today. We've already shown you it doesn't work on an iPad 2018. I'm not sure about an M1. I'm rocking an M2 with a terabyte of space. Is it going to crash? Probably, but we're doing it live. And, again, if it crashes, I reload it and it works again. The technology is far bigger than iOS at this point. And unless we get some changes with Apple allowing us to allocate more RAM to things, or even Logic giving us more buffering, I don't know. It still blows my mind. So that is the price for the desktop version. Okay, let's bounce now over to AppRaven to have a look at the cost of this. It is free to download. Now, let me be clear. Once you download it, you get 1 hour to trial it. A whole hour to work out if it works on your particular iPad and if it works for you. So you've got a whole hour to give it a trial. Okay, that's pretty fair enough. All right. The prices of it. There's in-app purchases. You can buy it outright for $60, $59.99. Let me get out of the way. There it is, $59.99. So a lot cheaper than the desktop version. If you want to get the full unlock, 80 current models and all future models fully. You can go the subscription route if you prefer. Hi, Les Nagy, Sean Chandler, Dude Lampoon, hello. And if I've missed anyone, there we are. You can do the subscription model if you want. $7.99 monthly. give it a try. You can go for that as well. Seems much better optimization for individual doors. Reports from AUM that it works. Most people on Cubase are having issues. Okay, so again, everybody who's got it has the old version. I'll try. It looks like individual voices cost $1 each, $1 each, right? If you want to add new ones, the base model is $24.99 with 16 voices. So there are the prices. Now, when I did a bug report for this, which, I mean, if you want to go back this week and watch my rant on beta testers, it's very bleak. Because beta testers, we discussed this on Sunday on the show. A lot of beta testers out there just want to have it. They don't want to send reports, man. No, right? And as soon as I found these bugs, I shot video and sent it off for Cubase, for AUM, for iOS, for Logic, for GarageBand, and tried to show the differences. Anyway, here's where we're at. So they're the prices for it. Let's get into it. We're going to load it up in a few different doors today because, again, it's all going to depend on your buffer size because of the amount of processing that goes on with this thing. It just is what it is. I don't know what else to say. So we're going to start off over here in Logic. In fact, let's start off just in AUM, right? Because I already opened it on the 2018. Remember, I've got an M2. And before anyone gets worked up, this is not a tool to sing live into and have it transcribe your vocal to another vocalist live. That's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. This is not also a tool that's going to fix your shitty vocals if you can't sing. Learn to sing. That's just the way it is. I know it hurts, man, but the truth is out there. It's not a massive vocal correction tool that's going to fix your vocals. That's not what it is. It's a vocal replacement tool, and it can like generate instruments as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here into the settings. Now, best practices, I'm telling you, if you're going to use this in AUM, is to set the buffer size at the highest frames. It just is what it is. And I'll show you the difference. Let's now import just a sample of my vocals in here. So we'll go to File Player. We'll find these vocals, tap to load. So we'll put on loop and just come in here and find MicDrop, let it load. And here we go. It's ready to go. So let's talk about the interface because it's very slick. It's very nice, very clean. One of the bugs that was going on was this. When you tapped here, this drop-down box would not happen. And this drop-down box wouldn't happen, giving you these scales to choose from. As you can see, I sent the bug report off yesterday and it's been fixed. It was the test flight was sent to me early this morning. It took like 12 hours for Apple to approve it. Of course it did. And you can choose your auto-tune or your tuning preference from here. Here is your input. This is where you're going to see the volume of your input. You can decide the level of volume for your input. Obviously, you want to kind of have it at least halfway or further up, yeah? Because you want enough volume to come in for it to pick up everything and be able to try and make the voice replace your vocal. You've got a mix dial here that will make a mix. So if it's down here, it'll have a mix of your vocal. All the way up, it will have all of the replacement vocal. I'm just going to turn this off for a second. Let's turn it off and play my vocal. Down and out and always feeling tired. Stop it. Now, here's the thing again. I know a lot of people like to play something in their DAW and just turn things on and off, turn things, like just make it come on while your DAW is playing in the background. This ain't that app. It's not that app. The amount of processing, there's going to be some kind of lag, right? So it just isn't. So hit stop, hit play. These are just things, again, you can say it's the developer who needs to do better. It's the technology, man. If there was an NVIDIA card in here, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Now I'm going to play with this. I'm going to choose a vocalist. Let's just come straight in and we'll choose Tessa. There she is with her funky sunglasses on. Make sure it's all on.
Down and out and always feeling tired, holding on to every single breath.
So when I change the mix,
Waiting for an answer to a question, an answer to overcome the impending dread.
right? So there's her vocal over the top. Now with all of this AI stuff, I know we've got Suno and all these things. Nothing's ever, I don't think I've ever heard one of them where the vocal has come back without any kind of artifacting or anything like that. I mean, that's the technology. I mean, I know there's people out there who think that we're going to get to the point that you can stem split songs and they're all going to be magically perfect. But frequencies, you can't just scientifically change frequencies. So there's always going, in my opinion, always this kind of artifacting kind of thing in there. They've tried to add tools down here like this gate to try and help with that. Let's talk about the little performance dial here. So I know this vocal is in C major. So let's come back here and turn it on again. We've already got a C selected.
Down and out and always feeling tired, holding on to every
So this is without any of the performance.
Waiting for an answer to a question, an answer to overcome the impact.
So turning up the performance, you're going to get to the point where you get that T-Pain kind of thing. So that's a choice, obviously. And the speed determines how much. Keeping this kind of around here is my recommendation.
Holding on to every single breath.
And even something like that. That's where I would go.
An answer to a question, an answer to overcome the impending dread.
So this doesn't do a vocal to MIDI vocal. No, this is replacing your vocal or turning a vocal into an instrument, which we will get to. Now, you also have MIDI here where you can play MIDI in. We'll get to that. You need to do a sidechain for this. We can do this. It doesn't work exactly the same as how it works on a desktop, but it's pretty damn close. You can play the notes in. We'll get to that once we're in Logic. So we're in our tuning section here. So you get the idea with this tuning. Let's come down here to the to the gate. Now, what this gate does, it tries to pick up and help you, try to help you match the voice, right? And you want to keep the breaths in there as well too. I mean, you don't want it to like just suck the breaths out as well. This does a really good job of keeping breath. So if I'm breathing in my vocal track, you're going to hear it in there, right? So what you can do with the gate is, I think the major part of this gate is to save CPU. So when there's no singing, right, you want the gate to kick in so it's not actually doing anything, and then it kicks back in. If you watch when I hit play here, see how that gate's kicking in there? You'll see it. There's the gate. You can control the gate with the threshold, obviously. See, there's no gate there now.
I'll always be a fighter. There's so much.
If you want to keep the breaths in, you probably want to bring the gate down a little bit, right? You can decide the attack, how soft the attack is, and the release of your gate. How quick it's going to come in and how long it's going to be in there.
I feel it every single day. The fight goes on and on.
At any time you can switch off the vocal instead of the mix. Back to dry over here. and the color will disappear out of the model who's singing. Now, did you see that there? See what happened there? When I brought it back in, there's a delay because it's running at such a long buffer. Now let's change the buffer and show you why I changed the buffer. So if we bring the buffer back up here to like 128, let's go.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
DSP maxed.
Holding on to every single.
Which should give you an indication of why this is not for live singing, right? When that DSP is, when that buffer is really low, you're going to get a lot worse artifacting. You want to put it up to the highest amount you can. And you are adding this to a vocal that has been recorded. It's not a live tool, right? Again, I'm just trying to drive all this stuff home and be as thorough as I can with this. We're going to put it back up to 2048. Again, I don't know why. Why Logic does not offer. I mean, Logic goes up to 512, which is utterly ridiculous to me. I mean, we all need to petition Apple and get them to sort that out. It's stupid. It really is. Nearly every door allows you to go up to 2048. And again, now that we've added that buffer in there.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
Okay, let's talk about the models. So down here you can see what model you have. There's a little I button next to it so you can get a quick overview of what their vocals are. Tessa, her voice merges pop, blah, blah, blah. Tags, pop, electronic. Click off to come back. You can skip through artists quickly with the little arrows if you want. Now you'll notice I'm on this one, but he's black and white, most likely because I haven't downloaded him yet. Let's go in and download some so you can see how long it takes to download. When you initially install it, now, again, the initial install is like about 2.6 gigabytes. I know it's a big download, and it doesn't give you all of the vocalists, right? So you've got to come in here and download a lot of them. So this was selector. So you can see whoever's not downloaded will be black and white. Let's show you how fast it is to download one in real time. It's not too bad. I'm pretty impressed actually at how fast they are to download. So now he is downloaded and I can hit select, and now he's in color and ready to go. So if we go back to the start and hit play.
Down and out and always feeling tired, holding on to every single breath, waiting for an answer to a question unanswered, to overcome the impending dread.
All right, now remember, we're still in AUM here. So now to access all of the vocalists, tap down here on this square, and here are all your vocalists. You've got a slider down here. You can swipe with your finger to the side if you want to do it that way to go through them all. Everyone who's black and white is there. Now, let's talk about the singers and types of singers there are in here. So you'll notice all the way from the top, these are all singers. So I'll go full screen so you can see them in Houston. And now, you may hear some of them and think, wow, that's a really similar voice. But the more you actually listen to them, like I have over the days, you'll see that some of them have their own characteristics and the way they interpret and also keep in mind, just because one of the artists says country vocal, don't always go with that. Think outside of the box sometimes. Even if you're going with an R&B singer, try the country singer. The inflection and stuff in their vocal may particularly work better. There's a heap of different style vocalists in here. Then we move over to stuff like this, which is funk chip with serious chirp, so more robotic stuff, K-bot. There's even a speak and spell in here. I know, right? A speak and spell. What? Called Speak to Speak?
Down and out and always feeling tired.
That's pretty wild. So you've got all these vocalists. Then we get to down here, and we've got spoken word. So voiceovers. We've got Chuck Banner, Linda Chase, Troy Cannon. Vox Luna. So these are all actually for voiceovers, which we'll get into soon. French Kiss. So you've got vocoders coming over here. Vocoders, a whole bunch of vocoders. Back to some vocalists, some more haunting kind of vocalists. We've got this guy, The Truth, speaks with the weight and wisdom and warmth of lived experience. His voice is deep and resonant, like a preacher. Right? So, whole lot of stuff you can do for voiceovers, that kind of stuff. We've got a Cylon. There's even like a choir in here too. Again, this is pretty adventurous to try and do this kind of stuff.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
Wow.
Holding on to every single breath. Waiting for an answer to a question unanswered to overcome the end.
Obviously, something like that with a choir, when you bring the tone, bring the octave down, it's not going to sound as good. And of course, I'm going to hear people say, and I think it too, wow, it doesn't sound exactly like a choir. I don't know, man. It's probably never going to be, right? There's even like a stadium chant. How does this work?
Loud and always feeling tired.
You put the right thing in there, the right kind of chant. Think about it like, oi, we love you, or something like, in a mix. That's just wild. I think that's really incredible. Whatever. Hank Slide, Linda Sky. As you go further down, so more and more vocalists. These are all the ones they've been adding over time. So they are continuing to add vocalists in here. We will get to spoken word, but here's where it gets super interesting as well, because not only do you have vocalists, you've got instruments as well. Slap bass, TB303, talkbox, high school horns, jazz flute, flutes, trombones, pedal steels. There's even a beatboxer and a Pete robot in here as stuff. Whoa, bonkers. We'll get to that once we are in Logic and recording stuff. Let's just go back and find a random vocalist again from here. We got Jupiter. Let's grab Jupiter, see what she's all about.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
Now remember, these vocalists have certain pitches and keys where they're going to sound better. This is going off my voice. Now we're going to talk about over here, the model. So in an instant over here, you can go up an entire octave on the fly most of the time.
Down and out and always feeling tired. Holding on to every single breath. Waiting for an answer to a question.
You can go up semitones. So do a harmony for your vocal. You can go up all the way to 2, and it gets a bit crazy at 2, trust me.
Down and out and always feeling tired. Holding on to every...
You're probably not going to want to do that. Even when you pull it down low over here.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
Well, that singer's been into the Marlboro Reds. The way too long, smoking a fairly long time. Jupiter's been into the cancer sticks for a while there, so you got to laugh, right? You also have a suite of effects that you can add, and you can get to these easily down here. You got a compressor you can turn on down here, delay. You got a chorus. The reverb is already on, so we're good to go. We've already got a reverb, and if you want to get into the nitty gritty of the effects, up the top here is the tab. And you've got a compressor, right, with all the compressory things, right? Your attack, your knee, your release, your ratio, makeup, gain. You've got a delay with all the stuff, feedback. Turn it on.
Down and out and always feeling tired. Holding on to every single breath.
Now, while we're talking about effects here, let me get into best practices because this is really important too. I know there's people doing this because maybe they're not aware of how this actually works. If you are going to add a vocal into this to try and convert, and you've already had this vocal in a song and you've added your compression and your EQ and your reverb, take the reverb out. Take all of the modulation, delays, reverb, any of that kind of stuff. Compressors are okay to leave in there. EQ's okay to leave in there. Take it out. You want the driest signal you possibly can to try and defeat artifacting, the artifacting that happens as much as possible, right? A lot of people are putting this stuff in there and they've already got reverbs and stuff on it and they're not getting result because it needs to be as clean as possible so this can attach to it and try and understand. So you can see the delay works absolutely fine. We've got a chorus in here. Kathleen Turner voice.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
You've got mixes for all of these too.
Holding on to every single breath. Waiting for an answer to a question, an answer to overcome
The compressor.
the impending dread. Though I'm a fighter, I keep fighting till the end. I'll always be a fighter. There's so much to defend. I know it's just another.
Right, so we've got all of our effects in there. And let's talk about, there's a soft clipper over here on the end too. So we've got a little soft clipper and this will add some color to the sound.
Down and out and always feeling tired. Holding on to every single breath.
And we've got an AGC here for, what is it? Automatic gain control.
To a question, an answer to overcome the
Of course, the soft clip is pretty subtle. We've got a gain control here as well if you want to add some of that in. Up the top here is where you can see your purchase, all right? So I have the unlock forever. Thank you to the guys for giving me that. $60 to unlock it. Remember, you get an hour trial. There is, when you tap on this, it'll take you over here. Kind of doesn't really help because this really goes through Mac OS stuff and Windows. This takes you to their website and gives you some help stuff. Doesn't really cover much of iOS yet. Maybe they will update that, but hopefully this video helps you with all of that. Anyway, let's get outside of AUM for now and let's get it into some real world demos. And who knows, we may see it crash again. Best practices. Close out stuff that's running in the background. Just do it. It's just, it is what it is, right? I actually had Logic Pro running in the background there, which was amazing. We didn't get any problems. I want to show you first this little demo. This was the first thing I did with this thing. And look at that. It crashed straight away. Now I can hit reload and it's going to reload. There it is. Also, once you're in here, if you've found a preset, if you've come in and found this preset, you've got all your settings in here, everything's right, you're pretty happy with the way everything is, you can then come in here and save your presets. You've got presets up the top, factory. I don't think there's anything in the factory presets. Maybe that's different for the actual finished version. Remember, I'm on this beta that's not out yet. So again, I'll remind you all, the problems that are currently out with the version that's available have been, most of them, I think all of them have been fixed. You can save a preset in here, save it as, give it a name if you want. It will save the preset where you save it. It can save, it will save it. I don't know if you actually have to save it into a folder. Let's just save as default. Well, is this a problem? Has it crashed? I don't know how that worked. Let's try saving a preset. Do you have to put it in a folder? Or is this working? See? This is a problem. We're seeing this live. Why am I unable to save this anywhere? I'm unable to do anything here. So, guys, when you're watching this today, here is a problem live. As I said, the team are really responsive. I hadn't actually tried to save a preset yet. I've been trying to test everything else. That will be fixed because that's what these developers will do. What I want to show you first is this. Let's turn this off and let's listen to what I'm doing here. I don't even know what key that's in. I just hummed it in. This was the first thing I did with this. And we're going to turn this on. And I have a trombone selected here. Let's go. Okay, fuck me drunk sideways. Sorry for swearing, but what? What? Did that just happen? Okay, that's fucking sick. I don't care what anybody says. That is sick. Can we choose a different instrument? Let's go over to instruments. And so there was a trombone. High school horns. What about now remember, how you hum things in is most likely how it's going to come out. If I go ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm thinking about a trumpet or a trombone. Sounds horrible. Are you okay? If you're going to do a slap bass or something like that, then you would obviously do like bass sounds, right? You're going to do that, aren't you? If you're going to do a beatbox, you're going to try and beatbox, aren't you? You're going to try and match the kind of sound because not everybody knows how to play a keyboard along with the MIDI for something like Swarm Instruments to understand the articulation and all that kind of stuff. All right, so should we try it? Remember, we're listening to it by itself. Let's hear a sax. And if it doesn't sound right, kind of sounds like a kazoo in a way. Very out of tune. Well, there you go. Well, that's my fault. Isn't it? That's my fault. Now, I don't even know. Here's the deal. I don't even know what that is, what key that's in. So we've also got this running too. So I might want to turn that shit off, mightn't I? But that's from a vocal. Let's play the vocal again. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba ba ba. I feel like that sounds like the Muppets or something, right? So there's an alto sax. See, it's probably not going to sound right with a flute, is it? No. But that was closer. Remember, mess around with the pitch too, because you don't know where it's going to go with the pitch, right? See how certain notes in there kind of sounded all right? Because I'm going ba, I'm vocalizing for a different instrument. So for a flute, you'd probably have to try and mimic the flute, right? As close as you can, yeah? So that's going to make more sense. And we're going to try and do all this stuff. Trust me, I'm just running through, showing you how it's not going to work. That kind of thing. So if I tried on a cello now, not going to work. Right? But what else might it work? Because we've got trumpets. Right, so in a mix, I don't know. It's probably gonna sound really good. Remember, we're listening to it by itself. Super critical because we're just hearing it by itself. You now, as a vocalist, you know you don't want to hear yourself just by yourself. Every vocalist cringes, right, when you're doing playback and you're like, "Fucking hell, really? Can't we just like, why are we doing that?" I used to do it all the time when you get to hear my vocal. Now, if I tried to put on a beatboxer, it's probably not going to sound good either. But if I come over here now, let's connect a mic and just do some shit, right? So we'll set record. We've got to turn this off, remember. We want to turn it off because in real time, you're not going to want to do this, right? Make sure it's off. Grab a microphone. Let's get a microphone. What are we got over here? We've got record. Hello. Hey, yeah. We'll get some volume on this. Yo. You want to have it hot, yeah? You want to have some hotness to the microphone. That's just the thing. So we've got a beatboxer here. I don't know how to beatbox, but I'm going to try. Right. Now I suck as a beatboxer. But let's see what that does if now we add the beatbox dude to it. This is just fun anyway, right? So we'll turn him on. There's another one. So I want to see what this sounds like. I was stressed. This one's called the Boxer. Okay, what about, we've got a digitizer here. We've got this robot beatboxer. We're just going to download this. See, pretty quick downloads as well. I slop right there. Hey. So let's select. I've got to turn it on. I can see, right, how look again with this. This isn't a tool. It is a tool. It's not Suno, right? It's just not generating shit from nothing. But to change up something or even create a harmony of vocals of different singers when you're just by yourself in your own home studio, I can see how the advantages, or to add something like this to create a different kind of sound from what you've just made. If we come up here, we've got TB303. I'm curious. Obviously, you would try and make the sounds of it. Wow, I don't know. Fuck, I'm not a living TB303, right? Now, obviously, if I put the slap bass on this, it's probably going to sound ridiculous. What about if we change the pitch? What about if I try and record in what I think sounds like a bass? Will that work? So we'll set record on this as well. I feel like a dickhead. All right, let's turn it on. Oh dear. we are living in a world at the moment. We are living in a world. I never thought we'd be in this world where, this kind of technology. It's, I'm sure, and people are going to be upset about this kind of stuff. I mean, people are upset about everything these days. Let me tell you, I've been watching these Suno groups on Facebook, and boy, you want to laugh? Go over to some of these Suno groups on Facebook and watch some of the comments there about people saying, it's time we take over and get rid of real musicians. The music industry's been taking away our power to make music for so long. Man, there's some really funny takes going on the internet at the moment. Again, and I saw a take yesterday, right, on a Suno Facebook group that was like, anybody who uses a DAW and effects and synthesizers is virtually doing what we're doing with Suno. Yeah. Yep, and shit is a delicious, savory snack. There's some deluded people out there. But getting back to this to me, even though it has AI behind it, is a tool. It's an AV3. It's a plugin. It's actually in my DAW. I have the power to decide if I want to use this or if I don't want to use it. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Like that's it. It's as simple as that. You either say yes or no. You either download it and find a use for it and pay for it, or you don't. Getting upset about it is a waste of energy because you could be making music. All right. And that's what all this is about, making music. So I'm going to open up this project. Let's get to some vocalists. Oh, man, I knew this would be a fun episode. So we've already found one bug here with this. And look, it crashed on me too here. So this is a thing I'm experiencing. You're getting the whole, you're seeing it live today. So every time I seem to open it, I'm getting a crash. Now, remember, we are on an M2. I don't know if this is going to be better on an M5, and we're not going to get this crash. I don't have an M5. I don't have all the money. I think most of us are in this position that you invest in something. Remember, an iPad these days costs like, here in Australia, $3,500 for this iPad. I'm not planning on buying a new one each year. Sorry. So you try and get the most out of it. For the most part, this is working, okay, apart from this crash. Maybe they'll be able to sort that out once they watch this demo. I'm going to put this on my vocal. So we've already listened to this vocal today.
Down and out and always feeling tired.
Holding on to every single breath.
Put it, waited for an answer to a question, an answer to overcome the impending dread. I know I'm a fighter. I keep fighting till the end. Always be a fighter. There's so much to defend. I know it's just another day. Don't let a moment go to waste. I feel it every single day. The fight goes on and on. Feeling like there's no
What about a harmony?
tomorrow. The silent enemy in my head.
Or close.
Waiting for a miracle to happen like magic to overcome the impending dread.
Now, again, it comes down to your vocal performance as well. And not all vocalists sing the same. Remember, individual vocalists are unique in the way they sing. It's like, think about this too. Those pedals, I've got one of these pedals up here, like a TC Helicon, right? And I've seen vocalists use a TC Helicon and sing live and click the switch, and then all the harmonies come in. And no matter what they do, it doesn't work well with their voice, right? And you have to sing very on point when you're using this kind of stuff. Like any app that you've got on iOS, like Blease have a vocal one to create harmonies as well too. But if you're wildly kind of in your own vocal style that drifts, it's going to struggle with that kind of stuff. Let's run through some vocalists on here. So that was the default one that loads up, right? This haunted one. We got Houston here. Houston, we have a problem. I'm going to bring him down to about a low, let's just go an octave. And I'll take my second vocal track out of the mix.
Without and always feeling tired, holding on to every single breath, waiting for an answer to a question unanswered, to overcome the impending dread.
So if you can hear that, I just switched to a Hungarian minor. It works. It's all out now.
I'll always be a fighter. There's so much to defend. I know it's just another day. Don't let
So the scales are working, right? And again, this is only like a minor pitch correction as well. I don't know exactly if I'm this song is if I'm singing to scale. I don't even know if it's in C major. Who knows? When I recorded this song. Let's just keep going through some of these vocalists and show you. We'll just change. What else we got here? So 6 deep. I'm going to keep it on low. So you can hear we're at the same octave, but there's more of a soulful.
Day, the fight go on and on. Feeling like there's no hope for tomorrow. The silent enemy in my head, waiting for a miracle to happen like magic, to overcome the impending dread. I know I'm a fighter.
It is pretty fucking wild. And again, this AI stuff ain't perfect, man. It isn't. It's never going to be. I know there's people out there telling you that this shit's going to save the world. It's not.
I keep fighting till the end.
So kind of younger, kind of boyish vocal this has changed to. Hi, Gary.
Always be a fighter. There's so much to defend. I know it's just another day. Don't let up.
Moment go to waste. I'm feeling every single day. The fight goes on and on.
I don't know. That was pretty cool.
An environment
Don't do that. See how I just overloaded? But
Overcome the impending dread.
I know I'm a fighter. I keep fighting till the end. I'll always be a fighter. There's so much to defend. I know it's just another day. Don't let a moment go to waste. I feel it every single day.
what it's doing there is pointing out where I'm sharp and flat in my vocal take too. Yeah, you can freeze a track, but obviously best practices are gonna be to bounce it. Get it right, bounce the fuck out of it, move it on. Yeah, that's gonna be the best in my opinion. Let's come back over here to this. Oops. And close out fake take. Why do I have that open? We're on this track here. Right, go through. Now, I want to do this. You've kind of got the idea. You've heard the vocalists working here. I want to bounce out, come back into our initial track that we're going. I want to show you some spoken word stuff too. All right, so it actually loaded this time around. That's a good thing. Let's try some spoken word, shall we? Let's do some spoken word. So I'm going to come in here, and this blew my fucking mind. Let's go with Troy Cannon. Look at Troy. He looks wonderful, doesn't he? So let me let's go over to ChatGPT and give me 3 sentences about interesting facts about the village people. Okay, and I'm going to read this out. Make it sentence. Not bullet points. Okay, and I'm going to read this out. Let's do it. Good. Here we go. So I'll read this out, grab the mic, and we'll see how this goes. Hello. So I'm going to talk in just my regular voice. Hit record. The village people were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, doesn't matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hypermasculine gay club culture of the late 70s. Okay. Let's see how this sounds with this dude on here. So we'll turn him on. Well, let's. Oh. Now this is why this doesn't work. But you can see in real time. Maybe if Apple gave us the ability
to up our buffer, you could maybe do this in real time. Holy shit.
But that's not going to happen because it's not built for that. But let's see how this sounds.
The village people were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, doesn't matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hypermasculine gay club culture of the late 70s.
Fucking rad. I don't give a fuck. That's rad. Right? And at the same time, I'm not generating AI. I'm putting it in. I'm using this as a tool. With this, you can say, well, what's the difference between this and a reverb, right?
The Village People were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hypermasculine gay club culture of the late 70s.
So that particular one, Chuck Banner, is a really old school kind of radio thing. That's why you had that kind of EQ on there. We've got Linda Chase. And again, we're just downloading this live on the spot. So this is Linda Chase, and she's in black and white at the moment. She'll be color in a second. Hey, do I say hi to Les and Hugh? I can't remember if I did. Let's see what Linda sounds like. Probably going to have to pump her up an octave. Boom, boom.
People were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hypermasculine gay club culture of the late 70s.
Now remember, when you're doing this kind of stuff, it doesn't really matter if you go up a semitone or 3 or 4 because you're not having to match this to music. This is a voiceover. So you can play with this until you get...
Producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop...
And yes, they all have an Australian accent. Why? Because it's copying mine. So if you did it and you're American, it's going to be in your thing. Unless I, try and speak British. God. I want to just talk like Russ every time. Yeah, you fucking mug. I'll fucking mug you off, you. Should we try that? Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you. Right? I don't know. Here, you fucking
Bug, you me off, mate. I'll fucking have you.
She sounds like a right slapper.
Yeah, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you.
What do we do with Troy Cannon? Was that how he goes?
Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you. Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you. Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you.
Bubbly's in the fridge. Bubbly's in the fridge. Are you standing? Anyway, it's going to match your voice. You get what I'm saying. It's going to match your voice. But that's really cool that you can do that. I want to hear Vox Luna now. Shall we check out Vox Luna before we go on? And then we'll talk about the Vocoder stuff. Danny Dyer. Yeah. All right, let's hear this guy. He looks a bit pompous.
Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you. Here, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you. People were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hype.
Pretty cool, right? So we've got other stuff like vocoders. So let's dive into some of the vocoders. We've got a bunch of vocoders. I haven't downloaded any of these yet. And then we'll get into the MIDI keys and how to sidechain this, and then we'll wrap it up. So I know we're going a little bit longer today because I wanted to cover as much of this as possible. $60 is $60, folks, and you want to make an informed decision, right? Let's select the vocoder just on this talking.
Were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly inspired by the hyper-masculine gay club culture of the late 70s.
We've got an Italio Vox.
Yeah, you fucking mug. You mugging me off, mate. I'll fucking have you.
So the vocoders are pretty cool.
By French disco producer, whoever, doesn't matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American, were directly...
And there's, what have we got? There's 1, 2, 3. I haven't downloaded everything that's in here, right? So clearly. And I'm not sure how, we've got a Cylon. Should we try the Cylon? Let's download Cylon. We've got this one here. Let's download it. We've got the kids singing we kind of listened to. Got a Happy Bot. I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. Linda Sky. So they got country hats on, so they've got to be country singers. Dallas Starr. She looks like a right 5-speed gearbox. Jet Wilder. I'm not sure how many we can download at the same time. So we've got a few downloading at the same time. Oh, have you, you mug. All right, we got this Cylon. Interested to hear the Cylon, obviously.
Originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American,
inspired by the hyper-masculine gay club culture of the late 70s. Decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member
Costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American were directly inspired by the hyper-masculine gay club culture of the late 70s.
That's sick. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That is sick. Wow.
People were originally assembled by French disco producer, whoever, does it matter, who spotted singer Victor Willis and decided to build an entire group around iconic macho stereotypes. Each member's costume, the cop, cowboy, biker, construction worker, GI, and Native American.
All right, I'm going to load up a new project here and try and sing something in that's fairly simple, right? See if I can do okay with this. I'm going to load up a MIDI instrument as well, just something like piano tech, yeah. Get a piano in here. Okay. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Boy. Oh, wrong track. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Nice and simple. La 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 la. Okay, so let's add to this voice track. Mic drop. And it crashed. We'll reload it. Reload it, baby.
La 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 la.
I don't need that.
I don't need that.
Oh, it's because I have hot mic. Yeah, that's why it's doing that, right? Remember to turn off your record thing, yeah?
La 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 la.
Now I'm going to find that vocalist that we just had. What was that country singer? Go down the bottom here. What was she called? Dallas Starr.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Okay, so we have operating right now over here the performance on for the vocal. Now we can actually sidechain this in. So let me show you how to do it. The best of knowledge I know. We're going to create a MIDI track next. And in the instrument section, we're going to put a copy of MicDrop. And we're going to open this up and we're going to set a sidechain. So we're going to sidechain the vocal into this MIDI. And I'm going to choose the audio, obviously, audio 1. So that is sidechaining in here. And now over here, I'm going to just make that there. Where it says tune, we're going to move to MIDI. And now when I play my keyboard, you can see the notes are being played in the performance tab. Let's loop this vocal here. We'll put a loop on this and play it back.
La 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 la.
Now you heard a whole bunch of artifacting there, right? So what we need to do before anything else is come in here and turn this on to preview. Once it's on preview, this cuts out a whole lot of the necessary resources it needs and gives us a lower quality version of it. And then once we've finished recording these notes in, then we can switch back over here to playback, right? So now if I play this back and play the keyboard at the same time, watch.
La 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 la.
We are able to play along with this and create a harmony. So we know these notes are this. Let's try playing along with it this time.
La 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 la.
So if we go up an octave and play this in on the keyboard, which is going to be up here.
La 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 la.
And we're able to do things like, you know, vibrato and things like that. And now if I record this in, if we hit record on our MIDI track, I should be able to play along with this and record these MIDI notes in at that higher octave, right?
La 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 la.
Now you can see it's a little bit out, right? So if I come back and move this in, we should be able to line it up so it's pretty close. My performance wasn't perfect as well. Now I'm going to switch this back to playback because we're not recording anything in or anything like that. So now let's see how it goes.
La 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 la.
So I didn't need to do that. And our CPU is getting smashed right now. I don't know why that is. Maybe we have to leave it on preview. Is that the case? Try.
La 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 la.
So yeah, obviously we leave it where it is, and it's going to be that little bit out.
La 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 la.
Not perfect. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Obviously, it's something I'm going to have to spend a bit more time on doing. Or let's try doing this, changing out the vocalist as well. Let's try try like the speak and spell. This is where you can do stuff like
la 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 la.
And just let me make sure, again, I need to check, make sure our settings for this. Settings, we probably have buffers. Again, look. Apple, can we just have a higher buffer? It would make life a lot easier. I'm going to take this off.
La la
And it
la,
crashed.
La 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 la.
So, look, here's the thing. Is this because I'm on an M2? Or because it was made for an M5? I don't know.
La 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 la.
I don't know. I can't answer it. And maybe then watching this, I'll get a better understanding of why that is happening. I'm going to bring this up. Let's make sure. Where are we? Or can I bounce it? Like, from what I read, the best practice is to bounce the track. Let's try doing that. Let's try, can we send this out? Can we do a bounce of this or not? I don't actually know. Do we do it from here? No, we do it from this, don't we? Bounce in place. And a new track. And look at that. Is that going to work? See, it's a bit out of time, isn't it? So now we don't even need that track. Again.
La 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 la.
Mind you, I was doing the speak and spell there. So let's try deleting that and just try a vocalist even. So we'll come back over here to MicDrop and we'll come in and choose a vocalist. I'm going to just go with Nice Whiskey for the moment. All right, we're unsoloed. Are we good? And let's see.
La 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 la.
I don't know why that track's muted. Why is that muted? That is very odd. Is it because I've already done a bounce? It probably could be. La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Okie doke.
La 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 la.
I'm going to try and bounce it one more time. See how we go. With this vocalist, let's do a bounce. It looks better. It looks better. Have I worked it out?
La 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 la.
Sick. All right. So you're getting to see it real time. I'm still working it out as well. That's rad. I was just actually able to play that in note perfectly.
La 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 la.
Now remember, the first track has MicDrop on it as well. So that's probably why we were getting those issues there. I'm running. I should have been doing that on my own voice without MicDrop. We had MicDrop on here and on here, right? It's probably a bit adventurous. I don't know. That's probably the limit for having MicDrop on here, but Holy shit. I can delete this track now because we've done that. But that is the way you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to make these, and it's crashed again. Look at that. But it's reloaded. So hopefully we can get that sorted out.
La 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 la.
If we take MicDrop off on this vocal, we've just got me now in this harmony. Or
La 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 la. La 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 la.
bring it back in, lower the vocal. We'll change this to like some oxygen. Yeah, we'll bring this down an octave.
La 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 la.
Awesome. Well, I think we've covered as much as I possibly can for this today. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's already been updated on the iOS App Store. So the main issue that was going on with this in the first instance was that the auto tuning thing was not working. I'm just checking to see if it's been updated. If it's, yep. So no. Has it been updated? It doesn't look like it's been updated. That's my purchased apps. Let's just do a swipe down and see if there's been an update. I don't think there has been yet. It's got to go through the process. Yeah, it's definitely not up here yet, but the update is coming. If you've already got it, paid for it, I can show you too. It's just quickly, the last thing we'll do is we'll open up Cubasis. That's what we'll do. We'll open up Cubasis. And create a new track, new project. All right, so we've got audio in here. We can come in and add insert effects, add an effect, audio unit, search for MicDrop. And the main thing where it wasn't working for this was the drop-down box here was not for these as well. So that has been fixed. Everything else from my trialing today over the last few hours seems like it's working exactly the same as in Logic. Same kind of deal. Everything else is, but yeah. Let's see where we go from here. Once this update's complete and once they see this show and there's any further updates that are made. You make your decision. It is $60 to unlock the entire thing on iOS. You've got an hour to play around with it, right? A whole hour to play around with it if you download it. If you're expecting it to work on anything below an M1, you're probably pushing it. It was made for an M5. It says it clearly in here, but you can see even when it's crashing at this point, it pretty much reloads quickly. Obviously, we don't want it to crash, and maybe they'll be able to optimize it in the future. You can buy the $24 one once your trial 1 hour runs out, and then purchase individual vocals as well. That's up to you. It's in your court now. What do you guys think? If you think it's something worth your time, then you do. If you hate it, you hate it. It is what it is. The most important thing is, are you making music? Buy the apps that work for you. There's no need to get upset about something if it doesn't work for you. All right. So hopefully this has been as much of an in-depth look at the iOS version that's answered some questions so you can make an informed decision. Tomorrow here on the channel, we're taking a look at something a little bit more simple, a little bit more easy to understand, or well, it probably won't take up as much resources. We're taking a look at Tape Scam by Charles Vestal. So it's really cool. This surprised the hell out of me. Super cheap and really fun. Also, the day after that, I think we're taking a look at AR Gate by Rob Jackson. We're doing a double header on Thursday, and that is followed by FM Zone 2 has an update. So we'll take a look at that. There's no interview this week here on the channel because Thanksgiving, so I'm doing app demos instead. And last but not least, on Friday, we are doing the Music for Life Charity USA album launch. So hopefully you'll come along and check out all the amazing songs that you guys, this indie community, produced and put out, raising money for kids with cancer. Okay, I'm out. Do all the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Try to be nice. Relax. It's okay. All right. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, yeah. And don't be a... All right. That's Oj.